Hello everybody, Angel Arts here, and today I've got a special video for you guys. I'm always trying to do something new, and one of the things I've been wanting to do for a while is something that's a little bit more social, and a really low-key and informal. I'm trying to do a new Let's Hang series, where I basically take some time to get to know and hang out with some rising YouTubers who I've come to really appreciate and really respect and admire. And so today I have the honor of hanging out with somebody that I just started watching within the last couple of months. His name is Ris Grestar. And yeah, hopefully we'll have some fun and it'll be great to get to know each other. So, Riz, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me, and I'm glad that you were able to pronounce my name correctly.
I did my homework. I listened to all of your Q&As. I know a lot of people were like,
Oh, you
Rise,
did?
Graystar.
Oh, good.
No, I'm legit. Like if I'm gonna like hang out with you, I have to go in like knowing what I'm talking
At least
about.
know how to pronounce my name.
Riz, yes, it's Riz Grestar. I guess I
Cool.
should. I guess the first thing I should ask is if you don't mind me asking, is where did that name come from?
That name. It's really rather silly, actually, because I made it when I was like 11 or 12 years old. Um, so Riz is just Sir backwards.
Oh,
And it initially started out as a Star Wars character for one of the Star Wars video games. You know, you get to make your own character. And I had him Riz Yug, which is just Sir Guy,
Sir
you know.
Guy.
But but then I wanted to get into a role play, and so I had to create a character, and I'm like, okay, let's try to be a little more original. So I kept Riz because I thought that sounded kind of cool, and then I picked my favorite color, green, and I mixed it with my favorite video game, Star Fox.
Yes.
Got Grestar. So there you go.
Yes. Yes, I know that Star Fox is a huge passion of yours. Um,
It is.
and you've been active in YouTube for how long now?
Well, I first started like actually posting Let's Play videos about 2 years ago, actually, but I wasn't really active at the time. It was just, every now and then when I could.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure when I actually started posting really consistently, but it's been a little while.
What got you started? Like what motivated you to decide one day, hey, I'm gonna start doing videos? Like did it something that you thought on your own? Is it something like you saw somebody else doing it and you're like, hey, that sounds like fun, I should try it as well? Like what got you started?
Well, the very first few that I did were just for my little brothers because they like to
Oh,
watch me play games and stuff, but I don't like them over my shoulder. So the first few were just for them. But when I started being consistent, it was after I watched people like Tobuscus and
yeah.
PewDiePie, and I had fun watching them when I had a rough day or whatever. They could cheer me up and whatnot, and I wanted to be able to do the same thing.
I have to say, Riz, one of the things that really got me very interested in your Let's Plays and your videos in general is you've got a very unique style. Like for those of you who haven't seen Riz yet, he's the best way I can describe him is he's just the most adorable person in the world, and I say that with the greatest respect to you because
Oh no,
he's
it feels respectful.
yeah, he's I love what I really love about your videos, Riz, is that you just have this charm and this warmth and without feeling fake, if you know what I'm talking about. Like you just seem like a really genuine person. And for
Mm,
me, like I'm very picky when it comes to Let's Players that I watch on a regular basis. And one of the
mhm,
things that I look for when I'm watching people Let's Plays is finding out if I can sort of get some sort of a personal connection with them. And I think what
mhm.
drew me towards you was that I don't know. I just felt like watching your videos. It felt like you were just in the room and we were just hanging out on the couch, and you were just doing your thing, and you're just a really positive person in general. And I guess one of the biggest uh, I guess one of the biggest things I can say is that you truly are someone that I feel like I can watch when I'm feeling sad or down, and you just have this natural, infectious way of
Aw.
cheering people up. So I guess how did that just come naturally? Like, are you? I guess do you consider yourself acting the same way in your videos as you do in real life, or is this something that like you kind of grew into as you were doing videos?
Well, I'm certainly not acting when I do my videos. That's one thing that I dislike when I'm watching someone Let's Play and I can tell that they're like trying to force something.
Yeah.
So I'm being me, but yeah, it might be a kind of different part of me than elsewhere. I'm still, I still try to be upbeat and everything when off camera and whatnot. But when I first started, if you go back and watch like my older stuff, you can tell like aside from just the quality being poor, I just sound really low energy.
Hmm.
And it wasn't that I was unhappy or that I wasn't enjoying myself playing the games. It's just, I wasn't, kicking it up. And so in my more recent videos, I've definitely, I've tried to put in more energy, and I'm not faking. It's just, let's really be there for,
Yeah.
YouTube and everything. And
No, no,
I don't know.
I definitely know what you mean.
Really glad to hear you say all that, though. It sounds like I'm, making some sort of accomplishment there. Like I'm doing what I set out to do, so that's good.
No, totally. Yeah, and I'm with you there with what you were saying, because like I'm looking back, and I think anyone on YouTube feels the same way when they're looking back in their old content. And I think my style, I'm still crafting it, and I don't think and either of us will ever stop, improving and trying to, I guess, become better and better with what we put out.
Yeah.
Because I was relatively low energy as well when I started, and I think as time goes on, you just kind of evolve, and hopefully in a good way as opposed to
Yeah.
a bad way.
Hopefully so.
Yes. So so Riz, one of the things that makes you really unique content-wise is you started doing something that's become really popular. I think you know what I'm talking about. You started doing I guess let's watches. I don't know if that's really the word, because you're not really playing a game, you're just watching and reacting to.
I call them let's watch. Yeah.
All right. Of death battles. You watch and commentate on death battles. Now, some people at home watching might not necessarily know what a death battle is. So could you, in your own words, explain that to everybody?
In my own words, so I'll forget their little intro then. Basically, it's where they they take, two video game characters or two cartoon characters, two people, from like the popular culture kind of stuff, and they analyze their skills and everything and then pit them in a fight to the death. And so first you get to go through, like the two characters, and they have pretty hilarious characters. They analyze, the two characters they picked to fight, and then they made a little animation to show how the battle could play out. So that's the basis of it.
and this is a series that people can already watch freely on, I forgot which channel does it. Is it?
It's YouTube channel Screw Attack.
Yes, that's it.
Or you can go to Screw Attack shows tab Death Battle. So yay, I'm just gonna put that there.
Yeah, I'll definitely put a link down below. A lot of people watching, I'm sure, have at least heard of it. But
Yeah.
again, for the benefit of those who this might be the first time, and if you are a big fan of video games, especially, because most of the characters that they put in are video games.
Yeah.
There's a few like non-video game characters like Justin Bieber and Rebecca Black, and they add some things, some pop culturally things like the infamous.
That was an experiment, which apparently didn't go too well for them.
Yeah, I watched your Rebecca Black and Justin Bieber Let's Watch a few days ago, and it was it was special. It's something special.
Yeah, what did you think?
Well, what did I think as far as who was going to win, or what did I think of your video, or
Of the death battle, I mean,
of the death battle itself? Well, okay, so without giving away too many spoilers, I wasn't really sure what to expect, because these are two people who are musicians, and when it comes to battling each other, I didn't really I don't know. I'm like, are they just gonna be slapping each other. I wasn't sure.
Exactly.
Are they going to
Exactly.
be hitting each other with a guitar? Like I wasn't sure what to think. And I mean, I will say though, one thing I like about death battles is that they do teach you a lot about the characters. Like when you were
Yeah.
doing your first
Right.
one with,
Smart.
yeah, when you were doing your first one with Star Fox and Bucky, I loved one of the things I loved is that you went in. Of course, you're hardcore Star Fox, but it was really neat to watch you learn about a totally new character, and you actually said that you might be interested in seeing Bucky in something late in the future, which I thought
Hmm.
was really neat. So Rebecca Black and Justin Bieber, I have to admit, I'm not an expert on, so just learning about their stats and how Rebecca Black is very indecisive and she can't figure out which seat to sit in, and it just really, I thought that was really clever, and how they tried
That
to
part was
make
great.
it was really nice how they were really pulling specific things that they could utilize for the battle somehow, and then
Hmm.
the
I mean, like you
ending.
could tell going into it, it wasn't going to be a really serious battle like all the other ones. But I love
Yes.
how they still took that kind of approach to it,
Yeah,
where they still
exactly.
like tried to analyze them. They're like, what can we use in a battle? Yeah.
Right. I love how
Yeah.
they were still trying to take it seriously, even
Hmm.
though clearly it's probably one of their silliest death battles to date. And
Yeah.
again, without giving away any spoilers, the ending threw me off. I didn't see that coming. But like you said in your commentary, it made sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. Like you didn't see it coming, but you kind of should have seen it coming too.
Yes. I guess I actually know the answer to this question already, Riz, but for the people at home, what led you to start doing death battles, watching death battles, and reviewing death battles?
Again, I have to give credit to my younger brothers. My younger brother in particular, because he's been a big fan of Death Battle for a long time, and then
Hmm.
he was just so, oh hey, this one's going to have Fox McCloud in it. And
Yes.
yeah, as you know, I'm a big fan of Star Fox, and so Fox McCloud, that's awesome, so I watched it. And again, he wanted to watch me, watch it, but he's also, oh, you should do this for your channel, because, he puts in what he can now and then, and it was a really good idea. So I did not expect it to get as popular as it has become,
Yeah,
but certainly not disappointed.
your brother's ingenious because it's so unique. I mean, there's tons and tons of Let's Players out there who are playing video games, and of course that's always
Hmm.
going to be popular. But it was just really cool that I'm jealous that you thought of it first, or your brother thought of it first, because as I'm watching this, like I would totally get into that. Unfortunately, I've already seen most of the death battles already, so it would kind of
Oh,
you kind of would
not on my channel, right? Just before that?
just before that, yeah. So,
Okay.
so I'm like, oh man, like I wish I could see. Maybe I can start watching them blind, but I would feel bad because like that's sort of your thing. You can have that thing. That's your thing,
Oh
and
no, if you want to try it sometime, that's awesome. Go for it.
maybe we can
I
do
certainly
a
don't claim anything.
maybe we can do it
Yeah.
collaborative, like a collaborative death battle watch or something.
Oh, you would have been perfect for this last one. Like, did you see what the last one
I
was that
haven't
I did?
actually. I didn't see which one you did. Oh, is it the Harry
It
Potter
was
one? Oh,
yes.
oh yes.
And I don't know that much about Harry. I know more about Luke.
That would have been
So that would have been
perfect.
perfect, but
Oh, it's okay.
oh well.
It's all right. There might be, who knows? We'll see what happens down the line.
Yeah,
Um,
sounds good.
but yeah, I think I get that definitely has become probably some of your more popular series. And
Yeah.
would you say through that that's probably how you been generating a lot of subscribers lately? Because your subscribers
Yeah.
list has been blowing up, and more power to
No,
you for that.
I definitely say that was what gave me the big boost because I watched Fox versus Bucky, my very first Death Battle Let's Watch, when I had like 350 subscribers.
Hmm.
So, and then, and I was getting a small number. I actually have them all like written down. Every day I write down where I am and everything, but I
Oh,
can't pull that up right now.
it's okay. It's
I like
okay.
to keep track. But, um, but yeah, so it definitely helped. Once I started doing them, like once I had a few death battles up and I was doing them every weekend,
Yeah.
I could definitely see a growth. So it's been exciting.
I mean, I can imagine that you had no idea that you would get so many hits and so many subscribers in such a short time. Like,
Not
you're
at all, no.
are you like are all your friends at school like feeling starstruck and feel like, oh my gosh, I know a celebrity. I know a YouTube celebrity now because your subscribers numbers is definitely very impressive within this short
Well,
amount of time, especially.
the thing with my friends actually is most of them are gone due to religious reasons for a couple years, you
Oh,
know?
okay.
So what's going to be really exciting is when they get back. I'll get to tell them where I am. Because right now, like, only 2 of them even knew I'd started doing YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting, and they'll be jealous.
No,
And yeah.
no, because that you actually brought up a good point because for whatever reason, I don't really advertise that much to my own like friends outside of YouTube that I even have a channel to begin with, just because I don't know, for some reason I don't necessarily I feel like you guys already know me in real life. You don't have to see me on YouTube as well. Like
Yeah.
you've had enough of
Good.
me. So I don't know why, but I just never really advertised it that much.
No, yeah, like
So,
twice I posted a link to my account on Facebook,
uh-huh.
but that's really as far as I, gotten with advertising to people I actually knew.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Yeah, definitely. So Riz, getting I'm just curious, what is it about Star Fox? Like what got you really passionate about Star Fox in the first
Um,
place?
That is hard. Well, I know that that got me into liking anthropomorphism, so that was cool.
Hmm.
But how I actually got my first Star Fox game, I think that I first played a Star Fox game at an RC Willie or something like that. I don't know. I was really little,
Okay.
not that tall even. But then one time Santa came to visit, around Christmas time. Otherwise, it would be kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But he came to
That's
visit.
true.
And so we just sang a couple songs. And then before he left, he gave each of us just a quick little present, and I got Star Fox 64, and it was awesome. And I don't know, I played it, and then, at recess, because I was in elementary school at the time, recess, I was like quoting it as I, jump off the playground, the, big toy or whatever. And I don't know, I felt like it's not even a genre that I'm used to playing.
Oh,
But
really?
it was
Huh.
presented in such a way that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters and their interactions, and just everything that I knew was behind it, because I knew that there were the comics before that, and games that I still haven't played. But it's a cool universe. I enjoyed it, and I have ever since.
Have you played the really old original Super Nintendo version?
I have not yet. I've
Ooh.
seen a little bit of like the play of it, but I haven't played it myself.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a classic. I know that they made a lot of improvements on the N64 version. N64 version I think is
Oh yeah.
still my favorite in the Fox series. So,
Mm.
but that's really cool. That's awesome. With your actual Let's Plays, what kind of what kind of games generally do you enjoy Let's playing, and how do you go about deciding what game to Let's play?
Well, first I play blind, so I haven't played it before, kind of thing, because that's more enjoyable for me. Because
I agree.
I know that I'm not like fantastic at video games. I'm not a gamer people should aspire to be like in that sense. So I can't do like walkthroughs and tell everyone the best way to do everything. So I think that sharing my reaction is better. So in terms of genre, honestly, a lot of it's just like, does it catch my interest, and would other people want to see it? And so I've put out, a few votes over the course of time, like, hey guys, what do you want to see? And then I'll usually give like, a couple games that they can pick from, and
Yeah.
we just kind of whittle it down from there. I do go by like my little brother's suggestions pretty often, because he hasn't led me astray so far.
Exactly.
Uh, And I try to do what I would enjoy and what I think other people would enjoy watching.
Gotcha. Does do you and your brother, do you guys have like the same taste in video games, did you say?
Pretty much, yeah.
Gotcha.
And if not, then I have an older brother that I can bounce other ideas off.
Gotcha.
Because my little brother and I, we like more the Pokemon, the Mario, the Sonic, and those kinds of, lighter games. And then, with my big brother, we enjoy, like the kind of BioShock, Left 4 Dead, those kinds of games. And so
Yeah.
it's been nice.
That's cool. And I know that you said that at least in one of your Q&As, you said that
Mm.
PewDiePie is actually one of your favorite. Is he one of your favorite Let's Players?
He is, yes. I have three favorite Let's Players: PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Tobuscus.
Yes.
Um, because I mean, and I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't, watched every other big YouTuber either. So, there are
Hmm.
probably a bunch of other Let's Players that I would really enjoy watching.
Right, right.
But watching their videos, they seem like genuinely good people. And
Yeah.
while they can be, like PewDiePie especially, I suppose, controversial, with
Hmm.
how they play their games and like the humor that they, like and everything, it's it's still fun. You just have
Yeah.
to kind of know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just really love, seeing their reactions to games and then seeing how they treat their subscribers too.
Yeah, that's huge. That's really, really huge.
Hmm.
Um, Another thing, Riz, that I instantly love about your content is you and I have a major thing in common in our play style in that even in real life, I'm not the kind of person who really uses colorful language. Like I don't really curse. I don't really curse
I
in real
see. Yeah.
life, and and because I don't curse in real life, I don't curse when I play video games, and because I don't curse when I play video
Mhm.
games, I don't curse during my Let's Plays. And
Yeah.
because I have had a few viewers asking me about that, and it's really rare. I think it's really rare to find a Let's Player who doesn't, and so I
Especially
don't,
nowadays. Yeah.
yeah, especially nowadays. And so when maybe it was during a Q&A session, did you talk about that aspect? But I immediately uh because we had something in common that I'm not used to seeing in common with other YouTubers, I just instantly
Mm.
was drawn to that. So like what is the I guess what is your reasoning behind that? Is it I guess it's a life choice. What is the basis of that? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I was raised religious, and so that had a big influence on it.
Okay.
But then, and I'm not really anymore,
Hmm.
but it's still stuck with me, and I don't see the need to swear. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of other ways to get your thoughts or ideas across, your frustrations out or whatever. And while I do think that there could be, times where it's like, appropriate or whatever, there's just like too much of it being abused, I believe. So I don't
Yeah.
feel that I need to contribute to that or promote it or anything.
Yeah. I'm pretty much the similar way. Like I was
Mm.
raised religious. I actually still consider myself religious. Um, but I mean, so again, a lot of it is based on that. But as you
Mhm.
said, I just don't need to. No, most of the time, I'm a pretty easygoing person. It takes a lot to get me angry, and so
Yeah.
I feel like those are words that really should be used when you're there's a time when I think is more appropriate to use them than others. And when you
Yeah.
do that, it has more meaning because if it's in your vocabulary, this is just my personal opinion, but if it's in your vocabulary on a day-to-day basis, it just loses its meaning. And so um I'm just waiting
Yeah,
for
I
the
think that's when it becomes more vulgar and
yeah.
everything.
So for me, I'm like I'm just waiting for the time when I just get somebody's gonna know. Somebody's know one day that I am like totally ticked, totally ticked. I'm just gonna like drop a few f bombs down, and they'll
That's
know.
when we would know you're serious.
Yeah, that's when you know I'm serious. So
Gotcha.
one of these days, we'll see if somebody is able to get me that angry. Of course, now
Well,
that
hopefully we never reach that point.
well,
But
now that it's on video, so that's people are gonna take that as a challenge now. You
like, all
realize,
right.
so that's great. Riz, I've been asking you a lot of questions so far. Do you have any questions for me specifically, just out of curiosity?
Well, I can bring this one out really quick since I was going to it before. Your Pikachus. I'm rather curious and intrigued
Yes.
by how many you have.
Okay, so how many? I
I know that's not
think
really a question, but you can just kind of go with
yeah.
it from there.
You unfortunately can't see all of them in this shot because some of them are like on top of them. There's like a big pile. I want to say I am I want to say it's about 20 or so, is what I want to say, somewhere over
Wow.
there. I mean, there's also one on my bed. There's
Oh,
also,
cool.
not all of them can fit in my dresser, so I actually have more. I actually have two of the original talking Pikachus from people. Both from two separate birthdays,
Oh.
and I was like, I can get two, that's fine. But this was just, I always had been a huge Pokemon fan, even before it became popular in the US. Like, I think,
Oh.
yeah, I think I started reading about Pokemon um, when there was like an article about a Nintendo Power, Nintendo Power back in the day. And
Yeah.
it was just a really neat idea, and I think I might have experienced it a little bit when I went to the Philippines one year back again. This is before it got westernized here in the United States. So
Mhm.
being the hipster that I am, I got into Pokemon before the rest of the world got into Pokemon, and
Very nice.
sort of like, and the same thing actually happened with, I'm a Sailor Moon fan. I'm just gonna drop that right there. I was a hipster. I was a Sailor Moon fan before Sailor Moon became really popular here in the 90s. So it's the same thing. And yeah, so when Pokemon they were announced that it was coming to the US, I was just so excited. The rest of my friends, and bear in mind that I was already in high school when Pokemon was released, which is, normally it's normally like the 10, 11, 12 year olds who are early into it, but I was already in high school when
Right.
Pokemon came, and my friends were like, at first they were kind of weirded out by the concept. They were like, really? I don't, that's such a Japanese thing. And at the time, I don't think
Oh,
they,
of course.
yes, and at the time, I don't think any of them realized how big of a franchise it was eventually going to become. And I didn't realize either. I mean, I really loved it and became into it when the cartoon came out, and just
Mm.
got really hooked. And Pikachu has been one of my favorites. He's actually got to cover all their ears. He's not my absolute favorite Pokemon, but he's definitely high up there. And
Hmm.
because all my friends knew I was such a Pokemon fanatic, whenever I had a birthday, whenever it was Christmas, that was like the easiest thing for people to get me is a Pikachu. And sometimes people just outright ask me, "What do you want for Christmas?" or "What do you want for my birthday?" And I'm like, I don't like, asking people for really specific things
Yeah.
because I don't want to, bother them to go search for something. So I'm like, if you don't have to give me anything. I'm really touched that you do. But if you want to, I'm just going to make it very easy. Just a Pikachu. Like, I don't care. And so this is like years and years of people giving me Pikachu. The big giant one actually was won by one of my best friends from middle school at a fair, at some sort of a fair, and
Mm.
yeah, I think I have. And then this most recent one, the one on the top right here, is actually
Mm.
one that I got during my trip to Japan last summer. Some of you guys who might have seen my video of my adventures in Japan and in the Philippines, my Asian invasion vacation, where I actually acquired, yeah, which I actually acquired that Pikachu, which I actually like a lot because unlike all the other Pikachu, he's actually lying down. So it was a really unique position. So yeah,
Fits
that
nicely on
pile,
the top.
yeah, that pile is probably gonna grow a little bit further as the years progress.
So, how many of those have you bought for yourself? Do you know? Like the majority were gifts, I imagine, right?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've bought any of them. I don't think any of
Really?
them. No, I don't. The only thing, no, that's not true. The Pikachu pillow over there, I did buy for myself only because, in college somebody had it in their
It's
dorms,
like
and
you don't have to defend yourself.
yeah, exactly, there you go, exactly. But somebody had it. Somebody had it in their dorm, and it was like the most adorable thing. And I'm sort of against stealing a little bit, and I was trying really hard not to steal the thing, so I ended up trying to find it, and it's not really hard. It's not really easy to find. I actually ended up finding on eBay, and
Oh, I figured you bought it from the person.
No, no, I could have done that, but I felt bad. I ended up, just finding my own on eBay, and yeah, and now he's pretty much always been like on my as a bed piece, centerpiece kind of thing. So
Cool.
so yeah, that's the history, I guess, of my Pikachu. I can probably go through each one and semi remember who gave them to me. I do have to go. I should probably catalog and remember who I got. I mean, and I have other things like
That'd
I
be
got
interesting.
somebody crocheted this Pokeball for me,
Cool.
and this is a neat one where it starts out as a Pokeball and then it actually turns into a Pikachu. So that one's really cute.
Cute.
Um, but I mean, this is just stuff that uh, this is just stuff that that's ephemeral. Is that the right word? It sticks around because I've gotten so many Pikachu birthday cakes. It's not even funny. I'll probably post some pictures of all of the different Pikachu birthday cakes. Pikachu's like between Pikachu and Harry Potter. Those are the things that a lot of my friends know in terms of my guilty pleasure crazes. So,
Right.
but
I was actually. Oh
go ahead. No, I was gonna say
no,
Riz.
I
Somebody
was gonna ask something else.
I was gonna say, Riz, Riz, do you have any Star Fox like stuffed animals or figurines or anything?
Um, I don't. I would,
Oh,
but they didn't have them at the time, and I haven't
oh,
searched recently. So I do have that cutout, the Fox McCloud cutout that you've seen, and I can see it from
okay,
here. It's right over there. But
okay.
yeah,
So
no,
all of you
we
fan,
definitely.
all of you fans out there for Riz, he needs some Star Fox love. So Christmas might be coming around. He actually just celebrated his birthday recently.
He
So
did.
he did, and the poor guy, he loves his Star Fox. So if you appreciate what he does, maybe you could send a little care
It
package
would
of
be
some sort.
appreciated.
just trying to help you out, Riz.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. Do you remember what you were going to ask me before?
No, yeah, I was actually just going to ask if you can decide, what do you prefer between Pokemon or Pikachu in particular, or Harry Potter? You
Oh,
know,
between the two,
I mean, because I know those are like completely different. So,
they are completely different. I think again, as much as it's probably pains all of the Pikachu up there, I do have a slight preference to Harry Potter, just because, in my opinion, it's a deeper story. In my opinion, it's also I can talk to more people universally about it because
mhm.
uh, like people from different like all around the world on different ages. I can just talk
Yeah,
about Harry Potter with. And with Pokemon, it's a little bit more of a limited audience, and so it's not something I can share. I mean, my friends, a lot of my friends tolerate myself like geeking out and spazzing whenever I see like a Pikachu stuffed animal at a toy store. Um, but more people are more understandable, when I freak out over Harry Potter and
yeah.
things like that. So
I
I
think
think
literature is typically more accepted.
literature is typically more accepted. So I think they're both very different universes, but I think
hmm
just for the sheer fact that I can, um, I guess, share my enthusiasm with more people with Harry Potter, that's sort of why I sort of favor it slightly more. But that's probably the only thing that gives it an advantage.
So, what got you into Harry Potter?
Okay, so
Yeah,
um,
story time.
Harry Potter. I've always been a huge bookworm
Mm.
growing up as a kid. Like, and by that I mean, as a kid growing up, I read a lot of the comic books that I was able to get for free from the library because my parents, couldn't afford to get me
Gotcha.
subscriptions of things. So I would watch like the Richie Rich, the Caspers, the Ducktales. I love the Ducktales comics. Yeah, literature, the great literature when we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But I also got into I don't know. That's really weird. Like because I don't normally like scary things at all. I specifically don't like playing scary games, for example, or watch scary movies. But I really got into
Now I
the
kind of want to see you play a scary game.
I did just once. I did play one playthrough of Slender.
Slender?
Yes.
Ha.
It's the only playthrough. I must have lasted like 8 minutes before I had to stop, and it's very entertaining. I didn't. Yeah, the only reason I did that was just as a favor to so many viewers were asking me to do it, and normally I don't just do something because their viewers really want me to do it. Like that, I have
It
to
was a
enjoy
sweet
it
thing.
too. But I was like, all right, fine, I'll just play it and just go for as long as I could. But yeah, in general, I don't really like watching or playing scary things. But
Mhm.
I was huge into R.L. Stein. Not Goosebumps, because before R.L. Stein
Not
made
Goosebumps.
yeah, actually, before
Oh.
R.L. Stein made Goosebumps, he made a series for an older audience, for like middle schools or teenagers in general, called the Fear Street series, which is actually a lot more mature themed.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a,
I haven't read those, but I've heard of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very mature, slightly more mature, like young adult horror series that R.L. Stein
Hmm.
did, and then that got really popular, and then he started doing Goosebumps, which I did start reading and watch the show. I watched that show too, but then after my middle school years and I got into high school, my high school was very it's a magnet school, so I was like super busy, and grades are
Hmm.
very important to me, and so I ended up, unfortunately, I stopped reading. I stopped reading, and I hadn't like hardly have read any books since then. And then we go into college now. We fast forward to college. By this point, the books were, I think they had just released the third, like The Prisoner of Azkaban,
Hmm.
and some of my close friends were reading Harry Potter and they were telling me about it, and it sounded interesting, but I didn't really start reading it right away. Um, they actually told me maybe 3 or 4 times before I finally, because the entire time I was like, I've got a lot of schoolwork. I need to like get my work done
Hmm.
because I'm very big on, I got to do my homework first and then I can relax and play later. And I was
Right.
also into video games, and I guess I was in the stage in my life like I am now where if I had to choose between reading a book and playing video games, I tended to play
The
video
choice
games
is
more.
obvious.
Yeah. And I feel so bad since I'm such an advocate for people reading, and yet I don't really read as much as I really wanted to. But anyway, after the fourth or fifth prod, they finally got me to read the book, and I read the first chapter, and I just fell in love with it and just finished it in a day, the first book, and then just started like I mean it was my gateway drug. Like I just started reading more, and as soon as I finished the third book, I was like, so where's the fourth? And fortunately, the fourth one came like a few months later, and
Hmm.
and I think I joined the wagon right when it got really popular, right when people started camping out at the bookstores.
So
So
you weren't quite hipster for that.
no, unfortunately not.
No.
No. But I mean I joined just in time when it actually was hitting its peak and continued on, and like I do everything. Like I got dressed up for all of the premieres. For the
Mhm.
very final movie, and I actually made a video about this. I rented out an entire movie theater, like because I have a friend who is a manager at this movie theater near my place, and I actually rented out the whole place and sold the
Mhm.
tickets to my friends. It was like 180 seats, I think,
You have that many friends?
yeah, well, yeah. I know a bunch of people.
Well,
I know a bunch
nice.
of people. So I mean, I think a lot of them invited their own friends too, but it was just sort of an
Okay.
open invitation. I'm like, this, we have our own private theater, and leading up, when people came in, we played a lot of games. I gave away like $250 worth of prizes. I gave away wands. I gave away like a time turner, a Marauders map. I took a bunch
That's
of
awesome.
Yeah, I took a bunch of golden snitches and I hid them around the theater. And I said, and I told them that, and I said, if you find a golden snitch and give it to me, you get a prize. And I did like a trivia contest, I did a costume contest, because I could do that because it was my theater. So it was a lot of fun, and that was how I experienced the last movie. I dressed up as. Are you familiar with the Harry Potter Puppet Pals at all?
Yes, I am.
So somebody made me a Dumbledore Puppet Pal's costume. That and he actually his robe you could like rip off and he goes into naked time, Dumbledore. So halfway through the
So
competition.
did you take advantage of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
like in the middle of a costume contest, I like got naked. I became naked Dumbledore and was running around the theater, like giving prizes to people. It was the greatest thing in the world. Yeah,
That
I
sounds like a lot of fun.
I take my crazes very seriously and I
So
go all out. I don't hold back. Sure.
yes, or at least bring something up. It
Sure.
wasn't a question either. It was more a talking point because you were so nice talking about me.
Of
I wanted
course.
to share what I loved about you,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
sweet.
um. I'm gonna jump straight to the ending of your videos because it hits me every time you say it. But
Oh,
like love yourselves, love each other. Right? Like it's really important that people hear that,
yeah.
especially in today's society and everything. I think, and
Yeah.
and I know that you mean it 100% too every time you say it.
Yeah.
And just to know that there are still people like you out there that really want to
Oh,
promote that kind of, you know what
yeah.
I mean? It's really respectable.
Oh,
So I
thank
wanted
you.
to tell you that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was I don't know because I thought that when I first started doing Let's Plays, I thought it would be neat to have sort of a little tagline at
Mm,
the end of my videos because some YouTubers do it and it might be a little gimmicky. So, but I wanted to do
please,
something.
mine's like 4 times longer than yours.
Not at all. But I don't know. I just wanted to try to come up with something that was meaningful and something
Mhm.
that I think is. I mean, most of the time when I say it, it's not even just and reminding other people, but it's also reminding myself. Because it's I think that I try to encourage people. There's a lot of people out there who have a hard time loving themselves, who
Mhm.
have a hard time like low self-esteem, especially people in my position, my personal position.
Yeah.
And I think that it's something that people need to challenge themselves more. Obviously, not to the point that they become arrogant or to the point that they become, they feel like they're all that in a bag of chips. Um, Confidence is great, and but you know what I'm talking about. And loving each
Mhm.
other, I mean, that's just something that you know I hopefully don't need to tell people to do. But again, every now and then we might need a little bit of a reminder, and
I mean, I don't know about I think your viewers are pretty good in the whole love each other thing, but most of the internet, I'd say, probably could use that reminder now and again.
yeah, it's actually Riz. That's you bring up a really good point. Like someone that is so positive and so like I don't know, just, like your personality. How do you deal with? And I know you've answered this already, but how do you deal with negativity on your channel?
Okay, well, I'll be honest here and say first, I've stopped reading some comments just because I don't like seeing it.
Yeah.
Because as confident as I am, I don't like hearing, all these people like complain and whatnot. So usually after like a death battle video in particular has been out for like, a month or so, I'll
Hmm.
just stop looking at comments on it because that's when like the mean people come.
Oh
But
yes. Oh
but I've told people and I tell myself, that's just how some people are, and
yeah.
that's like not even just on the internet, but like in the real world too. There are always going to be people who are, like full of themselves, who
Yeah.
just, who have their own opinions and try to force that upon other people, or just don't know the difference between being honest and being insulting
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And of course, on the internet, they're just trolls too. And
Yeah.
so I don't, when I do read those, I don't respond to them, or if I do, I certainly don't, retaliate
Yeah.
because that won't help at all. I've seen other people in those, and it's just what the people want. They want that kind of war to know that they are hitting a nerve and everything.
Yeah.
Um, so I just feel you shouldn't even give in to that.
Yeah.
They know what they're trying to do. You shouldn't let them do it.
Yeah, it's an interesting the internet age is really interesting because more so now than ever the anonymity factor, the fact that you can just say anything
Mhm.
to anyone with very little repercussions, I think can be a very dangerous thing. And
Definitely,
we
yeah.
people forget, and I talked about this, I think, in at the end of one of my playthroughs, I think in Portal 2. People tend to forget that there's somebody on the other side with feelings,
Yeah,
and you don't know their situation.
yeah.
They might be, you know, a grown young a man or woman who is very secure with themselves, or they might be a really young, you know, teenager
Mhm.
whose dog just got ran over, or you know, whose parents are having a very difficult time with each, you know, like you never know what other people are going through. And
Yeah,
the it just seems like, why do people waste their time? I feel like there's so many better things you could be doing with
yeah,
yourself than spreading all this negativity on the
and
internet. I
and
don't
it's
know.
so like you wouldn't go up to someone on the street, like you said, the internet anonymity and everything. You wouldn't go up to someone on the street and just say half the things that are said on the
Right.
internet to people, you know? Like that would just be terrible.
Yeah.
You know, people would look at you in shock and
Yeah, exactly.
so
And I just think that unfortunately people have just gotten so comfortable with that. And um I mean, that's why when I am reviewing all my comments, and I have to read
mhm.
all of them specifically for this purpose. If anyone a lot of things I do with my video games is I get very analytical, and I share a lot of my opinions, especially with games that I play that require you to make some very morally great decisions. And when you're in that situation,
Mm.
there's always going to be people who disagree, and I always encourage people to share that. However, in doing so, people can feel attacked, or people can get really offensive
Yeah.
if they don't see eye to eye with each other. And I'm less concerned if people are attacking me. I'm like, they can attack me all they want. I mean, that's fine. I'll definitely just take it all in. But once they start attacking each other, if they start attacking other people, that's when I bring the hammer down and say, no, you're
Yeah.
not allowed to do that. You're being disrespectful. If it's great to share your opinion, but do it in such a way that is mindful and respectful of other people, because I would love for people to be respectable to me, but it's far more important that people on my comments are respectable to each other.
I agree.
And I
I would
think,
like that much more.
and that's actually why, if somebody is like being a total troll and is like dropping F bombs and like just insulting and cursing at me in the comments, I leave it up. And why do I leave it up? Because it doesn't hurt me. It hurts the person who posted it. So like it like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot there. It doesn't show poorly on me or negative on me. It's negative to the person who posted it. So I'm just gonna leave it up and let people know this is the troll, and this is the kind of person that they are. Um, Whereas once they start attacking other people, that's when I intervene. So, but yeah,
So when you intervene, do you just say, "Hey guys, let's calm down," kind of thing, or do you also delete comments?
it depends.
Like as a person.
Most of the time, what I do is, I'll, you know, send a reply and, you know, tell them, hey guys, you know, be respectful, please.
Mhm.
If it looked really heated, then I'll delete the previous conversation. If it's like just borderline, I'll be like, all right, just try to calm down. And then if it continues, then I start messaging them privately, because I think that's really important. Because if I just keep like trying to mediate through the comments like publicly, like I think
Mhm.
that's worse. And out of respect to the people who are in an argument, I would prefer handling the situation outside of the public eye. Um,
Yeah.
and because then things can easily escalate, you know, and there can be a lot of he said, she said, and I'm like, pull that, just keep that out of the channel, like keep that separately. And normally what I say is, if you guys really want to debate this topic, if you really want to argue, do it somewhere else, like do it privately, like on your own, whether it's just messages back and forth, private messages back and forth, but don't put it in my comments, because it's not everybody wants to see it. I personally don't want to see it. So I think
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a say in what content can be on my comments. So yeah, it's everybody has their own style of how they handle negativity, and I try to do the
Mm.
best that I can. That even the most disrespectful and negative people, I try to be as respectful to them as much as possible. Um,
Hmm.
because if I was just as disrespectful to them, I feel like I'd be shooting myself in the foot. Like that doesn't really help
Yeah. No,
completely.
that doesn't help you at all. And
No.
I know that yeah, I've messaged some people who are being disrespectful before, and it turned them around, and they apologize to the other people involved, and
Yeah,
it
that's
worked out
great.
great. But then there have been other people too who just got worse, and so immediately
Yeah.
I know, oh, they're just one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah, and blocking is, I mean, blocking I have done before, and normally that's as a last resort. And
Yeah, I've only blocked a couple people now.
gotcha.
And that's just because they were incessant. They would come back after like 2 weeks and like start hating on people again. And it's
Yeah.
not me. Well, me
Yeah.
too, but
Yeah.
the people. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't want that kind of stuff in my comments either. I want a good community. Like,
Exactly.
mhm.
Exactly. Cool.
So I'm glad we agree on that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you and I think again, you and I love your style, and I think there's a lot of similarities, and we see eye to eye a lot. So
Mhm.
that's really really cool. And I mean, just outside of YouTube, Riz, I think that you strike me as a very upstanding citizen and good person, and those are the kind of people that I want to be aware of in YouTube, because in the great sea of YouTubers out there, if I see something really special, and I mean seriously, Riz, I see a lot of really special things about you and your content. I want to show people, I want to share people, and that's what this series is all about. So,
Well, thank you.
was there anything else that you wanted to talk about or ask me about?
I felt like I had another question, but it's not coming to me at the moment.
No
And I
problem.
don't just want to waste time in silence.
No, that's
What
okay.
about you?
Well, let's see. I guess I could ask. Let me ask some hypothetical questions.
Oh, all right.
So let's have some fun. All right. So Riz, let's say let's do a fun one. Let's say that you are about to go on an adventure. You're about to go on an adventure.
Okay.
It can be in any video game universe you want, and you can bring with you any four video game characters that you want in your team to go on this adventure, whatever the adventure quest or goal is. The only
Okay.
stipulation is the four video game characters have to be from four different media or four different video games. And the
Okay.
universe has to be from a different universe from the four characters as well. So this is supposed to be like
All
a
right.
um, dream team kind of thing. I'm going to assume Fox is one of them, but hey, I don't know, maybe
How
not.
did you know? I was actually going to ask, will the characters be ticked that you took them away from their
No,
world?
assume that that no,
They
they're cool.
volunteered. Gotcha.
Maybe they volunteered or whatever.
Yeah, no, Fox definitely would be one of them. I know right off the... Oh, or were you done?
Yeah,
Was
no,
that the
no, go ahead.
hypothetical?
Yeah, Fox would definitely be one of them.
Okay. I know that for sure the game I would pick is Pokemon. Because first, it has plenty of things that I'm familiar with already. Because, there's still humans in, like, the modern time,
Hmm.
except with some advanced machinery, whatever. But then, like, you don't have to be special yourself to be cool in that
Yes.
world. You could just get your own Pokemon, and they could just be your friends. You don't even have to battle with them. So I'd like that.
Awesome.
And then, if 10-year-olds can go on adventures in that universe, I think I could manage, and that's saying something. So,
Professor
all
Oak
right.
might think that Fox is a brand new Pokemon, a new legendary Pokemon. It's like
He'd still probably question Fox's gender, but
that's true.
um,
Oh,
yeah,
Oak.
Fox. These other ones are hard. I'm kind of just like my favorite video game characters are jumping to mind, like Link, but I don't
Link.
really know how he would fare there. He'd probably just cut through all the grass, then the wild Pokemon would have nowhere to hide.
Oh,
Like, this gets tricky.
yes.
So I'm good with those two. In the meantime, you could tell me your own one, I think, because
My,
I'm sure you've
uh,
answered this yourself.
oh, geez, my own. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have answered this before, not with the universe question. Um, so just for the sake of the people who might have already watched it, I'll just try to answer it as briefly as possible. Um, because I watch RPGs, a lot of my characters are from role-playing games. So,
That's cool.
so Alistair from Dragon Age, I don't know if you ever played it, but Alistair from Dragon Age is like my number one, just because he's a character that's ridiculously funny and very charming, and maybe I have a little bit of a crush on him, just a little bit. So
I won't tell.
that actually everybody knows. Everybody knows
Oh,
my
okay.
love for Alistair. It's okay.
Well, they're going to now.
So he's pretty much going to act as I think of when my strategy at picking people in my parties. I think about what roles they play. So Alistair, he's actually a knight slash fighter. So he can be like the defensive tank kind of character. And then after that, I was going to throw in Nathan Drake because he's essentially going to be a rogue, and he has the tendency, he has that, blockbuster Indiana Jones factor where he's got this uncanny ability where luck is on his side when we think like the worst is about to happen and we think that something really dire is about to befall us. By luck, somehow he's able to get out of it. So that'll probably be a huge factor in our survivability in our adventure. And then after that, I picked Mog from from the Final Fantasy series, for diversity's sake. And I think you kind of need to throw in that odd, like strange creature of a character. I would specifically choose Mog in Final Fantasy VI because he dances. His ability, his magic, he does magical abilities through dancing. So how awesome is that? That's got to be a lot of fun.
It's pretty awesome.
And then the fourth one, I need a female because too many guys like that would like the testosterone. Too much testosterone would be too much.
A little bit too high there.
A little bit too much of a sausage fest. So I was gonna throw in Luca. She is from Chrono Trigger, and she is very intelligent. Like she's very scientific. She can make all these inventions. The girl can make a device that lets you travel in time. So,
You gotta be pretty smart to do that.
how much fun would it be to be on an adventure where you get to travel through time? Come on now. That's got to be amazing. So, yeah, so you've got the tank guy, you've got the rogue guy, you've got the really smart, inventor girl, and then you've got the wild card Moogle. The cute factor, the cuteness and just out there factor. And then for me, if I was to choose like a role for myself, I definitely would be like the healer slash mage because that just fits my personality. I'm more of a support. I'm not a big like
Cool.
DPS. Let's destroy and kill things as much as possible. I'm more of a, here, let me help you with your injuries or whatever. That's more.
And one of the things I love right here is that you're totally along the lines of like epic RPG adventure. You know? You're actually assigning everyone, and I'm like, we're going Pokemon.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no wrong way to
every
answer this.
episode, you have the narrator, and it's like, and they traveled again another day, and like,
There's no wrong way to answer the question. I think
not at all. Just it's fun diversity.
I think we can come up with some story arc that makes sense where Link and Star Fox's abilities and skills would be necessary in the Pokemon world. Like maybe Team Rocket's like somehow like wises up and realizes, why are we attacking all these kids with Pokemon when we can, pull out laser guns and these weapons. I mean, how horrible of a...
One Sunday they get serious.
Yeah, I mean, how horrible would things get in the poor land of Pokemon universe if Team Rocket and Team Magma and Team Aqua and all those people started using those things. So you're gonna have to need people like
They
Lincoln.
started acting like ordinary gangs.
Yeah, you're gonna have to need Lincoln Star Fox to like even the score.
Yeah.
Riz,
So of course, the whole time you were talking, I've been thinking of more characters, and
okay.
there are certainly many more that would be helpful. Spider-Man came to mind.
Nice. Yes. Oh,
I mean,
yes.
let's think about this. He can tell when danger's gonna come.
Yes.
He's unassuming. Peter Parker, the little nerd guy,
That's
you
true.
know. Also brilliant, smart, you know.
Exactly. No, I can totally
And
see
I'm
that.
sure that he wouldn't miss a Pokemon with a Pokeball, you know. He'd have dead on aim every time, or if not, you just web sling it back. You didn't waste anything.
He would be the ultimate trainer. He could catch like the most elusive Pokemon. Especially those really nasty ones that run away every time. That run away or like
Oh my
teleport.
gosh.
No, web. Sorry.
Yeah, because in the games, like, would appear and then would run the next turn or whatever.
Yes. Have you thought of a fourth character, or even what your role would be?
Oh, well, obviously I'd be the main protagonist.
Yes, the dashing
Um,
trainer.
But as far as like RPG kind of role, no. I don't know what I could really contribute there.
You probably would be the honestly, if not the leader, then you probably would be like you'd be the group's morale. You'd be the glue that ties holds everybody together, which is
I
important.
can do that. I
You
can be
need that
glue.
kind of role. You need that kind of role. Like these people are going out there risking their lives against the Team Rockets of the world, and you need someone to unite them. And I think you would be really good about that, Riz.
That is my duty now, yes.
Because I think there might be times when Star Fox and Link, like, they might get into some sort of a tizzy or argument of some sort, and you might have to break them up and like play mediator. Because during all the times that they've been battling each other in Smash Brothers for years. So there might
And
be
Link, all that miscommunication with his just grunts and yells and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So there might be some residual animosity from those days that you might have to. There has to be some drama between some inner party drama. Otherwise, it's not really all that interesting. So
It's boring, yeah.
yeah, it gets boring. So you'll need somebody who's like the voice of reason to get them through the challenges that is of
I mean, if
adventure
you want
questing.
some inter-party drama, you should just take Obi-Wan, Dumbledore, Gandalf. Just take all of the mentor characters, and they'll all be trying to teach me at the same time.
Yes.
That would be fun. Arguing about the best method.
Nice.
Now I'm kind of sad that won't happen.
Ah,
Oh well.
one can dream.
Maybe someday.
One can dream.
No, I felt like I interrupted you quite a while ago, did I? / do you remember what you were saying?
No, I don't think so. I think I was just waiting for your fourth character.
Oh,
Because you've got
okay.
Spider-Man, you got Link, and you got Star Fox. So the most you only have one slot left, so this better be this has to be you got to think carefully.
Well, now I better have a healer, right?
Yeah, that's would be useful. I doubt that you'd be able to.
I'll take Sora.
Sora. Oh, from Kingdom
From
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
That's it.
He can heal.
Yes.
He's pretty multi-talented.
And Sora probably fits really well in that universe anyway. He probably does. That's pretty cool. Waving a key around, that's gotta be, yeah, that's gotta be awesome. I'm a.
Haven't you
Go ahead.
ever wanted to try that?
Haven't
you ever wanted to try just waving a giant key around? Right?
I actually have a Kingdom Hearts key. It's not at my house, unfortunately. I have a picture. I'll throw a picture up. But here in
Cool.
in Washington D.C., they have a Japanese street festival, and while I was there, like, people were selling like the classic Kingdom Hearts key, and I was gonna buy it with the intention of one day going to a con and dressing up as Sora, and I just haven't had the opportunity yet.
Oh,
I guess the biggest problem is finding the huge shoes, the ginormous shoes that he has. Um,
that would be a bit of an issue, I can imagine.
yeah. This is a pretty common question, so you might have been asked this before. If you could travel anywhere in the
Okay.
past, present, or future, where slash when would you go and why?
I'm kind of terrible because I won't allow myself the fun of going anywhere in the past because I'm sure I'll screw up the present somehow.
Yeah.
So I have to rule that out.
Okay. That's actually a good point. That's a really good point.
I mean, I know, like, when you ask that question, you're probably supposed to say nothing will change. You could just go back to normal anytime or whatever. But it's in my head. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm going to invent the high five, and then, like, World War III will have happened already. And
Yeah.
if I could go anywhere, lame. I'd probably stay in the present. I actually do just want to travel because I've never really traveled anywhere.
Mhm.
And the world is exciting and so much I'm ignorant about. And
If you could, in that case, if you could, in the
super
present,
boring.
in the present right now, if you could like magically go anywhere, even in areas that you might not be able to normally survive, like because of whatever the physical situations of whatever that area is, like where would you go or where would you visit?
Does this also mean I would be immune against animals and insects?
Yes. Yes. Just
Whoa.
if you wanna
Okay.
if you wanna pretend that you become like this like temporarily ethereal creature where nothing can like harm you, you know, if you wanted to give like for example, if you wanted to journey it to this down to the center of the earth, so be it, and be able to survive doing that. If you could go anywhere, if you wanted to go like out into the space, you can do it. Like anywhere you want in the present, where would you go and why?
Okay. Still gonna think I'm boring. I would like to go deep into the Arctic forests where I can watch a pack of wolves.
Actually, that's not a bad thing
Like,
at all.
I mean, it's simple. It's not like, I want to fly with the stars or anything, but just to see, natural, and if I were kind of, I'm not even going to risk that word. If I were ghostly, and,
Yes.
and, I could just watch without them and all being disturbed and everything, because wolves are cool. I'd like that. I don't know.
Cool.
Now I want to hear how different our answers are. Where would you go?
Okay. So I normally I definitely would like to go somewhere that I'd like to believe nobody has ever seen. Nobody alive or any living human throughout history has ever seen. And I was considering like the deepest depths, assuming I can see everything, like the deepest depths of the ocean.
The ocean?
But I'm like I have this semi fear of water because I can't swim, so that probably wouldn't be a very good choice for me. I don't know.
Well, that's the perfect time to go then because you're immune. You
That's
can't
true.
die.
No, you have a good. No, you're right. You have a good point. But I really would love to. I sort of have a little bit of I'm a little bit of a sci-fi fan. So if there was life somewhere else in space, I would like to go to the nearest, wherever the nearest intelligent life is, and just observe what they're like. Like that's probably where I would want to go, and
That would be cool.
that that would be
So,
really really
You're
cool.
observing aliens. I'm observing wolves. Both observationists.
No, that's I'll ask you a little bit more of a more serious question, I think.
Oh,
If you don't
okay.
mind me asking a serious question.
Go for it.
So Riz, I guess maybe one of the things I want to ask is you don't have to give any names or anything super specific, but who in your life do you admire the most, or is like your hero, or is someone who had probably one of the greatest impacts in your life, and what was that impact, or why do you admire them, and explain it. I'm just curious.
Okay. My hero The person I admire is my big brother, which,
Aw.
might seem cliche or not, whatever. But yeah, I love him to bits. And I'm not, like, he's not the perfect role model, and I know that. He's made his mistakes. We all have. But he's such an awesome guy, and he's witty, he's funny, he's nice to everyone. He's, I don't know, I love him. I played a game on my channel with him, Guacamelee. We had like terrible video and audio quality, but it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to do that with him on my channel. And I don't know, we're 4 years apart, so he's 4 years older than me. And when we were really young, we didn't get along well at all. But then we were kind of wrestling, and my head hit the corner of a wooden toy, and my head broke open. And then he kind of changed after that.
Oh,
But yeah, and then he's always been there for me. He's
nice.
supported me, in whatever I've tried to pursue. Like now with YouTube, even just this morning, he sent me a message before I woke up and asked me like how my subscribers were doing and everything. And
Aw.
he's just super awesome and supportive, and I love him. So
The apple doesn't
yeah.
fall too far from the tree. Not at all.
Okay, so before, you asked like who, or you mentioned that I, looked up to a few Let's Players, like inspiration kind of stuff, PewDiePie, Tobuscus Markiplier. What about your inspirations as far as YouTube goes?
Well,
I
when
don't
I
think you talked about this already.
no, I have not. So before I started Let's Playing, one of the earliest people that I watched a lot was Togoff. Togoff is his name. I used to watch a lot of Togoff's videos. He did a lot of RPGs that I loved, like BioWare RPGs. And that he was really one of the
Mm.
people that really introduced me to the concept of Let's Plays when it wasn't really all that
Huh.
prevalent. And then um, another person that I started watching that I became a huge fan of is Shali, who I am now really good friends with. We've actually done a lot of collaborative.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really neat because she was the one who actually helped me get started because I started as a major fan, and like I really idolized her a lot because not only because she was a Let's Player, but she was a female Let's Player, and you don't unfortunately see a lot of female Let's Players, and I tend to gravitate towards them because they stereotypically tend to be more interested in story and character development, and those are the kind of things that I love to talk about.
Right.
Um, and again, this is just generalization stereotypes, but she was the person that I thought really inspired me to start, and I actually sent her a private message asking her like, do you have any tips, like what kind of equipment do you use? And she helped me a lot to start out, and then I started making videos 3 years, 2.5 years ago. Um, and then over time, the moment that Shally and we started like interacting, we started collaborating together, and she actually became a good friend of mine. Like
Mhm.
I was like starstruck at first because like this is my idol, and I'm actually like, oh my gosh, I'm actually like interacting with her. This
Mhm.
is so cool. But she's a normal person just like everybody else, and I think people should remember that even all of the Tobuscuses and the PewDiePies out
Mhm.
there, I mean, they all started in the same place, and they're all they're all a person just like everybody else. Of course, they're successful in making like hundreds and thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars,
Yeah.
but
And I have something about that.
okay. Um, but yeah, those are the two.
Yeah.
Go
Um,
ahead, go ahead.
um, just how you said they all started somewhere, like the Tobuscuses, Markipliers, all them, right? They all started somewhere.
Yeah.
I actually have in my inbox from like years ago, I think from 2008, I have a message from Tobuscus where it's just
Aw.
like, hey, I think you'd like my content. You should check out my channel. And I'm like, oh, it's Little Buscus, like I found that recently, and it's cool to still have.
That's really
So it just made me think of that.
Oh, that's really cute. That's awesome. Yeah, Toby's a great guy. I'm a huge fan of Toby. He does some really great stuff,
Oh, you are?
and so
Good.
talented too. I especially love the thing I love about Toby especially is his ability to make all of the original music, the songs that he does
Hmm.
with original lyrics for video games. Like I watched his Mass Effect 1 and just got Mass Effect 3 when I was just floored by it. But
Oh, so his literal trailers?
Yes, his literal trailers.
That's actually how I found him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's does what I love about Toby is that he does a lot of different things. You know, he's not a one-trick pony. He's so talented,
Yeah.
and I like people who are multifaceted. So, um, but yeah, and then as I started really doing Let's Plays, I and got really submerged in that community. I started, you know, becoming fans of other people like Reclusiarch, who I became friends with, and Lucky Jack 20, who I became friends with, and I mean, Riz, I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm just telling you right now, and which is why, again, I'm actually feeling a little starstruck right now, as well. And when I sent you the message, I mean, I wasn't sure if you were going to respond. I, you know, just thought that it would be a nice thing to do if you were interested, and so thank you very much for agreeing to do this because.
This is great.
Yeah, you just seem like a really nice guy, and you seem like the kind of person that I would get along with. And I mean, that's another thing that I wanted to gauge is if I felt like there would be, you know, somebody that I think that I would get along with. And yeah, you just seem like a really genuine, awesome person outside of your fame and everything else you do. It just was a great opportunity to get to know you. So.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to hear.
Awesome.
No, I'm really glad we got to have this call.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, we're getting on, I think, 2 hours ish or so. So if there's, I don't know if there's any like last minute.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any like last minute questions or anything of that nature or topics that you wanted to talk about.
Nothing springs to mind right now.
Okay. Well, who knows?
So-
Maybe we'll hang out again, or even maybe do some sort of collaborative project together at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. All right. Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys for watching this video. Again, if you are interested in getting to know Riz a little bit better, I'm definitely going to be putting his link at the bottom. Please check him out. He's really great guy. And if you love his content, definitely consider liking and subscribing. As you know, I don't typically say that of my own content because I just want you guys to just like and subscribe on your own terms. But I have no issue encouraging people to like and subscribe other people's content because I personally think that they deserve it, especially if you like their content as well. So, any last words, Riz, before I sign off?
Oh, well, I just want to thank you for that again because that's really nice. And yeah, if anyone's interested, just feel free to come to my channel and we can have fun.
Absolutely.
I like that.
All right, guys, you know the drill. Until next time, love yourselves, love each other.